So at least one good thing happened. Last video, went outside to vlog at night with a light on, with a camera outside people's homes. One guy stabbed me in the arm. Luckily, I was able to salvage that knife. And I said, hey, I wonder if I could paint with this.
Illustrations by Pete.
So first, I tried to use one of these. That's a mistake. It probably could, maybe, if I would have done it the second way that I just tried, maybe. I don't know. I mean, put thin lines, but nothing really. Then I took one of these. Now this is a little shovel little thing here. It's a different kind of knife, but it works. And at first, again, I thought maybe I could put some watercolor up here and just let it run to the edge and paint it. That doesn't work. So if you dip it and then try and paint, you'll see what I do. I'm going to show you how to do that. It was just an experiment. I've never done it before. Wanted to try it, and I figured I'd share it with you. It's a very quick video, just something easy to do. I also added some ink to it just to make it a little bit more interesting. It looks a little muddy, to be honest with you, but it came out okay. I thought it was interesting. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, so I hope you watched till the end because something very special happened. I had one of my favorite viewers. Her name is Bay. She sent me in some artwork, and I'm looking at the artwork that she sent in, and there's something in there that so many artists fail to do in their artwork. Wonderful. It looks beautiful. It's the thing that she does is very important, and I think if she works on that, it's going to be great. So I'm going to show you that. I'll point it out and show you what she sent in. But right now we'll get into this so I can make a fool of myself. That you can see, I have no idea what I'm doing with this thing. I'm just taking the knife and scraping it in puddles and putting it on the page and trying to do something. At the end, I get into the spade thing, and that worked a little bit better. Maybe? I don't know. You can decide that. But I just wanted to try this. It was just an experiment, and I wanted to share this with you because I'm going to torture you for a little bit. But do you know why I put these videos up when they're obviously bad? This is not something that's wonderful. It's just, I was having some fun and just experimenting, but I want you to look at what I'm doing and say, if this guy can do this, and he's putting up this kind of work, what can I do? Listen, stop worrying about judgment from other people about what they might think about your art. Okay, I want you to practice two things you can say, and their responses to people who are like that, who just try and tear you down. And, okay, here's the first one. The first one is, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even remember asking you. Who are you again? That's the first response you should practice. The second one is a little bit more attitude-y. That's a word. Trust me, I got a call into Oxford. Look over your left shoulder and then look over your right shoulder. And then politely say, oh, I'm sorry. Are you confusing me with someone who gives a rat's rear end about what someone like you thinks? See, then laugh and then walk away. Because this is more than just about creating something in order to gain other people's approval. It's okay if they don't approve of it. And I'm not trying to be mean, but sometimes I see a piece of art and I don't get it. So what? Maybe that art just isn't for me. Not everything is for everyone else. I also don't, suck the life out of the person who created it and tell them how bad they are because I don't like their art. Like some elitist blowhard who's so insecure about myself that I need to break everyone else down to feel better about me. Now, most people, they grow out of that sometime around grade school, and this is about you expressing an idea and then finding other people with whom that idea clicks. You share that idea with them, it clicks for them, then over that you start a relationship. And then more people come into that relationship, and now you have a community of people who share ideas back and forth, and it gets bigger and bigger. Notice I didn't mention money or career. This could be applicable if you want to have an art business and you want to be a professional artist, but can also be true if you just have a group of people that you want to share some common interests with. And don't waste your time with people who try to knock you down. Don't put any weight in some of their self-righteous, ego-driven, stuck-up, have to deflect all my vulnerabilities so I don't feel bad about who I really am, monkey lover. You are better than that. And I treat those people as my court jesters. They are there for my amusement. And sometimes I throw rocks at them. And sometimes those rocks are covered in honey while they stand next to bears. And I laugh. That got dark quick. I'm sorry, I apologize. No, but I do laugh at them because my life is so busy. I'm just trying to navigate a crazy world and figure out my next move and what's happening and what's going on. And I can't imagine a life so miserable that all you do is find people to tear down. How miserable of an existence is that? I feel bad for those people. They're devoid of joy or a sense of worth. It's very sad. And in line with that, you are allowed to have your opinions about whatever you want to have an opinion of, especially when it comes to art. Now I'm going to give you an example that seems unrelated, but it's going to go into art. Okay? So I like cameras. I talk about them once in a while I'm doing this. And I shoot in 8-bit because I don't want to destroy my computer with 10-bit, which takes like an hour and a half to render 15 minutes. It's just, I don't have the best computer in the world. Sometimes it takes a little longer. And sometimes I want to edit on a laptop, which is even worse. So, whatever. I shoot in 8-bit. Well, that produces less dynamic range. But I like contrasty images. I like when the darks are really dark and when the brights are really bright. And basically what the dynamic range does is it pulls the lights down and it brings the darks up so that everything is more monochromatic. That's not the right word. It's more uniform. You can see all the details, but to me that looks more washed out. So anyway, I know you're not supposed to want that in video, and people spend a lot of money and time trying to correct that, but maybe it's just because it's the artist in me. I like my art to show a lot of contrast. So people always say to me, oh, your blacks look too flat because they're so dark. You should mix your own darks using blue and brown and get a more natural looking black. But I like the darkest, flattest black color. That's what I enjoy. So that's what I do. And I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to have that opinion, and I don't have to change anything. It's my art. If you don't like my art, then move on. And don't apologize for your art. I'm not saying that you shouldn't listen to advice on how to improve, but if you really like something, don't let someone else tell you that you need to change your art because this is how real artists do it. You do what you want to do and how you want to do it. If there's something you love about it, do it that way because that's what you love about it. And you're going to find other people who also love that about it. This is nothing. This is just me. I had no plan. I was just putting paint on a page. Decided in the end, I think it needs a little bit of line work, so I did that as well. But this is nothing. This is not, I don't think any artist would say, yeah, this deserves to be in a museum somewhere, up on a wall somewhere. Although, I have seen some very dumb things up on walls in museums. So this could be there and sell for like $3 million. And I'm still hanging up on that invisible sculpture. That's ridiculous. So anyway, this could be worth billions. It's just, you don't know. You don't know what could happen here. Okay, so now we get into the main attraction of the video, and that is the artwork that was sent in by Bay. Now here's something I want to point out to you. So there's definitely expressionism here. If you look, of course the sun's not that big, but in the picture it's big for a reason. You ask her, she'll tell you. The rings. And this is, okay, so the sun is kind of, it's not really a cool yellow. It's more of a little bit warmer, like a mid-tone yellow. And then you see in the rings, what you see is it goes to an orange with a little bit of red, and then it goes more to a red on the top. So that's true, that's accurate. It's just done in an expressionistic style. But here's what I really want you to pay attention to. First, look at the tree. Look at the leaves on the tree. And you'll notice most people, they go to paint a tree, even with a sunset behind it, and they just paint a green tree. And what Bae's done is shown the light reflecting. She's pulling the background light into the foreground. Do you know how many artists struggle with that? Look down below, even in the path. In the very front part of the path, and even to the side, there's a little bit of orange reflecting off of those stones from that sunset. And she's doing this in the proper way. I mean, through the leaves, you know that there's a lot more holes in the leaves and the branches, so more light comes through. But then the lower part is more orange, just like you'd see in real life. What she did was put the color exactly where it should be, and she toned it down lower because it reflect less in the darker stones, but more so in the trees. Do you know how many artists struggle with that? I struggle with that. Sometimes I forget to pull everything together, to pull everything forward. So she's able to see these things and put them in her artwork now, when many of us forget to do that in our own artwork. And she's doing a great job here. So this is great work, Bae. Thank you so much for sending it in. I really appreciate it. I love it. And I want to see more from you in the future. I want to see what you do with this and practice and keep at it. And let's see what else you can do. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching. That's about it for me. I'm going to go, and I'll see you in the next one.